It's okay, though. Here we are.
We are Podbros.
A production
of Sound Bros Productions.
Excellent.
And we are coming at you live.
From the living room.
Numero dos.
Live show number 2. I don't know why live shows are such a thing, but hey, all right, we'll do it again.
Yeah, what the heck, you know?
So, we would be outside.
But it's raining. And actually, I can hear it dinging. Oh, it's actually raining now. Yeah, before it was just
we
kind
should
of
totally
like,
open the window and let the rain sound be. Right? Should we open the window?
You can if you want to.
I don't know if I want to.
Okay, well, in any case, should we do the weather since we're talking about rain already?
Yes, do the weather.
It's raining.
Well,
all right, it's done. Let's move on.
Hey, Ollie. Over to the weather. It's raining sideways. Thank you, Ollie.
So right now in Chino, which is where we're at, it is, my phone says that it's 66 degrees. The NOAA weather app says that it is 63 degrees.
Ooh.
Neither of them say that it's raining at the current moment.
Oh, well, that's because they're liars.
However, I will say that it is 10:19, which means, where's the update thing on here? Because the weather station that
we should definitely do some more show prep, I think.
The weather station that's at NOAA.
Or
that NOAA uses at Love Field.
At Love Field.
Sends up a balloon.
Love Field.
Sends up a balloon every hour.
Does it really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Or no, they send up a balloon every couple hours, but they take a update every hour.
A reading every hour?
Yeah.
From their balloon that they set up every
No,
couple
no,
hours?
they have a station.
Oh.
Standard built, 5 feet off the ground, all white, with the little slats on it and the things inside, and it's a shaded area so that it doesn't get overly heated from the sun. They have all these criteria you can actually look up on the internet if you want to build your own weather station, and then you can connect it to things like the Weather Underground, which are really
Underground?
cool. Yeah, Weather Underground. It you put your weather station on there, and they get a more accurate weather because they use the data collected from hundreds of little mini weather stations
Everywhere.
That's
cool.
And then AccuWeather is also, they do a similar thing. Fairly more accurate weather, and you can actually get
that weather thing's off of Outer Loop Road, right?
No, that's
another weather station.
That's not a weather station.
It is for the airport because it's a certain distance out that they have to have it.
I think that has more to do with traffic control, though.
It might.
It's a giant antenna in there.
Yeah, but it's also weather.
Well, yeah, they do that everywhere, but specifically,
your mom does that everywhere.
Weather?
Something.
Is it because she's so big that she displaces the weather?
I hope our mother never listens to this show.
Right?
We love you, Mom. You're not fat. Ish.
Your mama's so fat. She was at the beach in Florida, and everyone was like, "Oh no, here comes Hurricane your mom."
Hurricane. I thought you were going to say they were going to try and push her back in.
Or that. Oh no, there's a beached whale on the beach.
And Greenpeace cordoned her off and tried to push her back into the water.
No, but seriously though. So that's the weather right now.
No, but seriously. Your mom is so fat.
You know what's fantastic about monsoons? You know what the high is going to be for the rest of the week? Mid-80s.
Oh, glorious day. Because I have to be out in it. But in a week, it's Labor Day.
Is that when all the
which
women
is-
go to the hospital and have their
I
babies?
thought that was the number one day to give birth.
Labor
Right?
Day?
Labor Day?
That's the labor they were talking about, right?
Right. Something. I don't know what labor they were talking about. I actually don't know the history of Labor Day. Do you?
No, I don't, actually.
We should research that and then do it on our next show, which will be the night before Labor Day. So stay tuned on our next show, the night before Labor Day.
Or, if you know about Labor Day,
Yes.
you could tell us
You could text
about
us.
it
Yes.
by texting us
Or text us or email us. and let
commenting
us
on
know.
our Facebook. Is that a thing? People
No.
comment on our Facebook?
You can comment on Facebook, but we're not really on Facebook right now.
Why
So-
not? Did we get banned for your comment last week?
Nobody heard my comment.
Oh, that's right, because I muted it.
Because you bleeped it out.
I did bleep it out. It was
Thank
really
you,
funny.
media.
Yes.
No, we're not. We're just not really on Facebook right now. But you can drop a note on Podbean, and we'll know.
That's true.
Are you getting comfortable over there, bro?
My toes were falling asleep,
Oh, jeez.
so I kind of leaned back a little bit on the couch. Since I have a hand mic instead of a cardioid mic.
Yeah, we can do that, can't we?
Yep, we sure can.
You know, I'd love to just plug in the wireless on this thing. The wireless mic might
could.
work out just fine.
We could.
Anyway, so what else are we talking about?
We're
What
going to
did I
talk
put
about
on here?
food, right?
Food, yeah.
Because food is always fun to talk about.
I like food. Do you have a delay on yours?
On
Your
mine?
headset?
No, do you want to listen through my headphones?
I just don't want to hear a delay. No, I don't want to listen to your headphones.
So take off your headphones so you don't have to listen to a delay.
No, I'm gonna plug it into the other thing, and then I'll have.
This seems like an obvious thing. Like,
You are an obvious.
if
thing.
you don't want this, just don't do it.
You're ridiculous.
Ta-da!
That's too easy.
Ta-da!
That's too simple.
Are you going to screw it up? Are you going to screw up the audio that's being sent out by interrupting the signal?
Not at all.
Are you sure?
I can't hear anything, so apparently not.
Is the audio still going through on the live stream?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So much for that. Well, that was annoying.
You're annoying.
Your mom's annoying.
You're right back to mom again.
I can't help it. I love her so much.
You just want to talk about it all the time.
I just have to talk about her all the time.
Well, I suppose that's fair.
Right?
So, anyway, food. Food. Speaking of your mom, let's talk about food. Huh? Like that segue?
Well played. Yeah, that's good.
So the only downside, hold on real quick. The only downside I have here with doing this is that this mic is super sticky and it was just stuck to my beard.
It's also pretty. There's like a loud noise, like a room noise on the online.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't sound good at all.
That stinks.
So I think we'll have to figure that out.
I wonder what it is.
I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm too hot.
Did it sound that bad
time?
When we did it last time outside?
No, it didn't. I think it's because I was having so much trouble with this time, and it's overdriving.
I think you screwed it up.
Can you
maybe.
turn me down? I think that's part of the issue.
I could.
Well, I mean, would it mess up the recording?
Yeah, because I have those preset
Bummer.
for the recording.
Well, I can't change it on this computer, and it doesn't. This program that we're record live with doesn't give me any audio play.
You can't like turn it down at all, like the send we're
I
sending.
mean, I can click on the boo button, but
Boo.
I can't. Yeah. I mean, I've got.
The boo box.
I can end it. I can. Yeah, that's about all I can do. I can't. I can mute it.
Well, that doesn't do us any good.
Yeah, this is. I'm wondering if we should find a different program to go live with.
Well, I think if we just get a good quality send of signal to it. Because that's the other problem is that we're not sending. I don't think we're sending a consistent signal to it. You know. I think we
agree.
might need to go back to the board.
Well, I'm gonna do what you did.
Oh, take the mic off the stand and lean back.
I'm gonna take my headset off too. I mean, we know it's working, so here we are.
And I can see that it's working because I can see the computer in front of me.
All right.
Well,
that's much better.
so food.
Yeah, I like Taco Bell. I do. That's what we had.
Yeah.
But I think I definitely am in a place now where I made homemade meatballs the other day with spaghetti and meat sauce. And it was really good. But I made the meatballs out of ground turkey. And it was really cool. They were really dense. And they just melted in your mouth. It was really good. Are you blowing everybody out with your mms?
No, actually, I'm not. It's
Well,
the same volume as everything else.
which means we're blowing everybody out because it's really hot going out online.
Well, that sounds like a you problem.
And I can't fix it because if I try and fix it, it's going to turn off the microphone on the app.
That's
So
dumb.
we're gonna have to figure this
Dumb.
out at some point.
Dumb.
Well, we're gonna just run it through the soundboard next
Dumb,
time.
dumb,
When we
dumb,
do all
dumb,
that fun
dumb.
stuff and set up the whole soundboard setup.
Should we talk like this the whole time? Will that help?
What?
Should we talk like this the whole time?
No, because I can't hear you in the room.
That's because you're deaf. Ha 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 ha! You heard that? You heard that? Anyway,
You got me. I didn't know what to say.
so anyway, food. So Taco Bell. I actually those nachos are pretty good. It's the second time I've had them, although they definitely skimped out on your box for sure.
Yeah, I feel like I got gypped.
Like the one time that you shouldn't skimp out is when someone orders two of them.
Right? Yeah, you order a.
Like if
Or
someone
two
orders
sets
two of
of
them,
nacho
it's like,
boxes.
okay, let's make these both at the same time so that when they get them and open up the boxes,
same.
they look the same and they're not like, oh man, I totally got skimped out on mine because yours has got way more than mine does.
Right?
You know?
Like, yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
That's like when I used to get those
I don't think I need this because we're inside.
you get those
And it doesn't stick to my beard.
the spicy potato soft tacos that Taco Bell doesn't freaking have anymore.
Thank you, coronavirus.
They
Thank
make
you,
them
Wuhan 42.
Wuhan 39.
Thank you, Kung Flu.
Oh,
Kung Flu.
But when you get those, you get like two or three of them,
Right.
and it'd be like one of them would be good, one of them would be like no potatoes at all. The third one would be like tons and tons of lettuce and no potatoes and like no sauce. It's like these three are for the same person.
How are they so different? How are they so
Who
diametrically
made
differently?
these?
Yeah. I've actually never understood on the fast food end. I've never understood the failure in cooking.
Inconsistency?
Fast food. Yeah. Because I actually worked at Taco Bell.
It's
and,
actually, you know what it is?
and I worked at
It's more
Burger
than
King,
that.
and I worked at
It's more than
Jack
that,
in the
Luke.
Box, and I worked at.
It's not understanding the failure in consistency and the insistence that we pay you more money to be inconsistent.
Correct. Well, I deserve 50. No, you don't. You make fast food, and it needs to be. You had the thing that gets me is that it's a simple job. Like people are spending their hard-earned money to get food from you, fast food, because it's convenient.
Right.
And I ordered this, and I wanted a special way because the reason you do special orders is because it makes those hard workers that are spending their money with you feel special, right?
Or because they have a condition.
Or because they have a condition, which is the case in some cases, right? But they order something special, and you can't do this simple act. I mean, I worked at Taco Bell. It's not stressful.
Did you work at Burger King also?
My first job was at Burger King.
So
Actually.
funny story. I was watching a video on YouTube, and there's a guy whose name is Mark.
Mac?
Yeah, Mark. I think it's a joke, but it spells it M-A-H-K. Mark.
Mac?
And
Mac. Is he from Boston?
I think so, or New England somewhere.
New England somewhere?
Anyway, he made this video about Burger King, and he was like, I guess he can't eat tomatoes because he's definitely allergic to them.
Uh-huh.
And every time that he orders them without tomatoes, they give them to him anyway.
So has he sued them yet and made millions of dollars?
No, I think he's made millions of dollars making fun of them on the internet.
Oh, well, just as good then.
So I guess that's better.
I guess that is better, isn't it?
Everyone wins.
Everyone wins. So we only have two total. One of them was me.
While
And
we're
only one of
talking
mine,
about
so
food,
We're nobody.
I want to do this Impossible Meat thing.
Right.
So I watched this. So I've been watching videos on YouTube lately, and I watched this one YouTuber, and he was talking about eating this meatless meat. It's plant-based meat.
Cowless meat grown in a lab?
No, not.
I said that.
Not cowless meat grown in a lab, because technically that's still meat.
Cowless meat grown in it's still meat
because they're still growing it from
cow cells.
From cow cells.
So this is animal-less meat.
Yes.
Did we freeze?
No, the screen just turned off.
I thought you changed those settings.
I didn't, because I thought it was the plug coming undone.
It's not.
Yeah, I get that now.
Hey, the screen turning off is not the plug. Continue.
For those of you who can't read that was an exasperated sigh.
Can you have an orange?
That's not an orange. I was like, what the crap is that?
It's the microphone.
Would you like a lime?
Would you like a lime? I was waiting for you to say, would you like a green?
A green, yeah, right. Or purples. That's my favorite. Purples. Anyway, so I watched this video, and he's talking about how it tastes just like a burger when he cooks it. And I'm like, okay, that's great, because a lot of people eat meat cooked. And for the most part, when you eat something cooked, it's mostly about, unless it's like terribly made, it's all about the preparation and what you put on it.
Right.
That makes it taste good. A chef should be able to make almost anything taste the way that he wants it to taste.
Right.
Right.
No matter what it is.
And so for that, I say, okay. The problem is that I like eating raw meat. And not like, I don't like eating like raw meat like an animal, eating it like right off of the bone, or eating like a giant chunk of meat. I like to slice it up and prep it and everything, and it's kind of like a delicacy type thing, not like I'm a wild animal eating a side of beef or something like that, because I've my pack has taken this large animal down, right?
Right.
And so I'm like, okay, I ate raw meat. Supposedly this stuff tastes just like a burger. I want to try it with what I eat regularly, on a regular basis, as my go-to meat that isn't a frozen burger
which is top sirloin.
Which is top sirloin, specifically from Fry's, because
and we eat it raw.
Right, and so that's where I'm like, okay, I want to try this way, because you're saying that it tastes right, but does it really taste right?
Of course, right. Sorry.
And so, do a blind taste test or something like that,
right.
And
well, I think we should do that. I think it should be part of one of our shows.
We should. And the other thing is that the only thing that I've ever seen a restaurant do it with is with Burger King, and it's their Impossible Burger.
Right, which I haven't tried yet.
Which is supposedly supposed to taste like the Whopper. And what's funny is that I'm not a huge fan of the Whopper.
I actually like the Whopper.
And so I'm
of course,
okay.
I worked there, and that was the burger. So
and so I'm like, okay, so it tastes like the Whopper. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. The Whopper is mostly because of the way it's seasoned and the way it's cooked, right?
Well, yeah, they're cooked well done. They have to be.
And so
because it's food service.
Right. And so if you're
strong air quotes.
If you are cooking the food, if you're cooking this thing that's supposed to be like meat, it's supposed to taste like meat, if you're cooking it this way and you're seasoning it this way, and you're putting all the stuff on there that's just like a Whopper.
Right.
It's not like you're putting a seared 10-to-1 patty from McDonald's on there.
Right.
Or a third pound or quarter pound patty from McDonald's that's all fresh beef, never frozen type thing.
Well, they're frozen.
The fresh stuff isn't. Everything that's a quarter pounder and bigger
is never frozen.
Is never frozen.
Really?
But the 10-to-1s are. Those are the basic ones.
There's a side note. Let's jump on that. Let's rabbit track on that for a moment.
Okay.
Pink slime.
Probably one of the best inventions ever.
Ever invented, and then because of what we're currently seeing in the media, propaganda
and fake news,
lies, and fake news.
Actually, straight up lies in that case.
Straight up lies is not allowed to be used.
No. It's not that it's not allowed to be used.
That's what I was.
The company went out of business.
Oh.
So here's what happened.
And they sued the guy though, didn't they?
And they won. They actually
won?
won millions of dollars from it.
Good.
From
Okay,
NBC.
so tell the story.
So
and while you're telling the story, I'm going to get a drink of water. Would you like a drink of water?
I have my water right here.
Oh, okay.
So what happened was, Taco Bell was using this stuff called pink slime, and the way it works is that they take all the meat off of the cow, because it's not like it's a burger meat where it has to be like a patty. They can actually take almost all of the cow and use it because it's taco meat. It's just ground up beef, right? So everything that's on the cow that's eatable, that's edible, they can pretty much use. And so they discovered, this guy created this method where they spray ammonia gas onto the bones after they've cleaned the meat off. And what it does is it causes the meat to separate from the bones. It actually is a sterilizing thing where it actually cleans. The meat is actually clean because ammonia kills stuff. And because it's not liquid ammonia, because it's ammonia gas, it doesn't actually settle in the meat at all. It's this brilliant process. And it allowed companies like Taco Bell to have their tacos say 100% beef because they were using the pink slime. And so what it creates is a substance that looks kind of pink. And so they were using this in their tacos, and it actually allowed the price to be way lower because they were able to get more out of each meat, thing of meat that they were getting. They were able to get more out of it because they were able to get all the extra stuff off of it. And it was like this brilliant, amazing, awesome thing. And like so many times with great inventions, I'm pretty sure it was NBC did this big, expose on them and how it was they were using liquid ammonia and they were soaking the meat in it to get the thing off, and it was super dangerous and all this crap. And the negative press that they got was so huge that all these companies stopped using it. And so the company itself that makes pink slime, they actually sued MSNBC, or NBC, sorry, not MSNBC. NBC, I don't know exactly what it was. Whatever. I'd have to look it up again to see for sure. But they sued them and actually won for damages because what they said was false, proven false. And unfortunately, we don't get to take advantage of that. And you can thank NBC for the reason why your tacos at Taco Bell are not less money.
Right. So, side note, never pour water into a cup that in the dark that you don't know what was in it last.
Okay. What was in it last, Luke?
Milk.
Delicious watery milk.
No.
My favorite.
No.
Delicious curdled cottage
Flaky
cheese.
Milk. Yeah.
My favorite.
So, I didn't see it. I drank the milk. I just drank the water. Didn't taste anything different. Filled it back up again. And as I was walking out of the room, I looked down and just see nothing but swirly floaties. And I'm just like, ugh. So, I don't know what I drank earlier. Hopefully it doesn't make me sick. So, anywho, I think we might be being too loud for our roommate here. Are we too loud?
It sounded like it came from the outside door.
It did sound like it came from the outside door.
Well, whatever. Anyway, so McDonald's. So all their 10-to-1s are frozen.
Okay.
But their quarter pounder.
So break it down for the people. What's a 10-to-1?
So a 10-to-1. So if you ever get like a McDouble or a double cheeseburger or triple cheeseburger or a Big Mac or the Daily Double, which I don't know if it still exists.
I think it still does, but everything's on weird things because of
And then
COVID.
the cheeseburger, the number, I forget what number it is, but it's 2 cheeseburgers.
Right.
All of those are 10-to-1 patties. And it has to do with are we being too loud? Okay. It has to do with the I don't know what the actual term is, what it actually means, but I know that it has to do with the amount of fat to meat that's in the patty.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, quarter pounders are a quarter pound of beef.
Right.
And those are all fresh. And the other thing is that all of the meat that McDonald's uses for their burgers, all of their beef meat, is all prime cut meat. They actually don't use the whole cow.
Which is why it's expensive.
Which is why it's a little bit more expensive now. But
it's also really good meat.
It's a better quality meat.
Right.
In the long run. So, interesting fact about McDonald's.
Okay. Because I have one too.
The filet of fish
Oh.
was invented by one of their franchisees.
By Cheryl. Sorry.
Or Karen.
Karen.
Yeah, but any middle-aged woman.
Unfortunately, the name Karen has changed.
Has been ruined.
And it's been ruined by the obnoxious, whiny baby children.
Yeah, seriously. It's like, what a great name to use for that belligerent lady.
For that
store.
Yeah, exactly.
And now you've made her racist. It's like, why'd you have to do that? You didn't have to do that.
It's very
you didn't have to make her racist. She's belligerent towards everyone. She is non-biased about her belligerence.
Yeah.
Seriously. As a matter of fact, I would go so far as to say that I don't think that she is even factoring that into anything. I think that she just likes talking to the manager and doesn't like talking to the peons at all. Doesn't matter who they are.
I kind of feel that way myself.
So, are you a Karen?
No, I try not to be. I don't have the hair for it.
That's true. So anyway, we'll just go with Cheryl. It's easier.
Cheryl.
I
hope he listens to this show sometime. We love you, bro.
Yeah, seriously. So anyway, it was created because McDonald's started discovering that during the spring, on Fridays, their sales would drop out on the East Coast because
everybody goes to the fish fry.
Everyone was going to Lent.
Oh.
And so one of their franchisees made the filet of fish, and it blew up, and it's actually their #1 selling item.
Really? The filet of fishes?
Ever.
Really?
Yep.
I never see people buy the filet of fish.
That's because you're never going to McDonald's on Friday during the springtime.
Apparently that's the thing, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Wow.
So, and then of course there's their chicken, but that's an entirely different story.
So what was there was a company that here's another tidbit of history. I don't know exactly the company, but there was a company that came out with a third burger, and it was an answer to the quarter pounder.
Okay.
But because of the sound quarter pounder and the way it markets, it actually markets better than a third pounder. And low information voters didn't realize that you were actually getting more meat. And so the sales for that company didn't go up. They stayed, and McDonald's still beat them with their quarter pounder over the company that was doing the third pounder. And I thought it was Jack in the Box, maybe. I don't know. I don't know who it was.
So while we're talking about fast food restaurants, we were actually talking about this today at lunch, is Dairy Queen.
Lunch.
And their invention their innovation of soft serve ice cream.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because it's always credited that they made soft serve ice cream first. They invented it. But they didn't. It was actually invented 7 years before them by another company.
Oh.
And they were not marketing it correctly. Dairy Queen started, and they marketed theirs, and it blew up.
As yogurt, right?
Also, as ice cream. Soft serve ice cream.
Soft serve ice cream.
But they marketed it correctly, and it blew up and became very popular. Also, the original banana split was invented by Dairy Queen.
Really?
So if you go to Dairy Queen and order the banana split, and you hear someone say, that's not how banana splits are supposed to be made, they're full of crap. Because Dairy Queen invented it.
Wow.
So, take that.
With the 3 different types of ice cream and everything?
Yep.
I hate that way.
It was actually originally just 3 things of soft serve ice cream with a whole banana split in half.
Chocolate,
cherry, and pineapple preserves.
Wow.
Yep.
And now I want a banana split.
I've been wanting a banana split all day since we talked about it earlier.
Okay, so tomorrow we're going to get a banana split.
No, we're not going to give into our vices.
Why not?
I mean, I suppose we could, but I really don't want to because I don't have the money for it.
So tomorrow we're going to get a banana split.
Okay. All right.
I actually haven't had a banana split in forever.
Neither have I. Although I usually get one.
I can eat that much.
I usually go and get one at Denny's.
You know what banana splits are for? But I feel like banana splits are for romance. You go and take a lady on a date and you eat a banana split.
What does that say about me eating a banana split by myself?
You love yourself, bro. Well, hey, we are at the bottom of the hour.
We are. Hey, look at that.
So do you have something for that?
Hold on, we're at the bottom of the hour.
Do it. Is it playing?
Yes, it's playing. I think there it is. Okay, I see it now.
Should we keep talking?
This is Podbros,
a production
of Sound Bros Productions. LLC.
Incorporated.
Restricted. Okay. And
is it done?
It's done.
And we're back. We never went anywhere. Oh, you know what? I should have saved. I should have saved it. I did the weather. I know what the weather's going to be tomorrow because I recorded the weather.
Oh, did you?
For Arizona TV.
Sweet.
Channel 7.
Sweet.
So on Monday, August 31st.
Is that how you said it on the thing? Because that sounds super lame.
Does it?
Yeah.
Actually, they're only 9-second spots. I did them really fast.
Wow.
And I will say this is the first time I ever did them in one take. I did both of them in one take.
I'm so proud of you, Luke.
Thanks, bro. I was very proud of myself.
Oh, you must be very proud of yourself.
Of course, right. This feels nice. It feels like Jello.
So, I normally get.
I love the inside liners on it's just.
I get a banana split normally at Denny's.
At Denny's, yeah, where it comes with the multiple different ice creams.
Specifically, the Denny's in Prescott Valley because they are a franchise store.
Well, we do everything at the Denny's in Prescott Valley because the Denny's in Prescott is garbage, or it was.
It still is. I went there the other day. It's pretty bad. As a matter of fact, I went there the other day and made a stink about them only letting us sit 4 to a table. And the guy came back out and said, "Oh, we're not going to serve anyone else for the rest of the night."
And didn't let you stay at all?
And told us to leave.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretentious much?
A little bit.
So, Denny's in Prescott. Canceled.
Is that what we're doing now? We're just going to join in with the cancel culture here?
Well, I listened to a podcaster, Matt Walsh, and he's amazing and talks a great show. He's got a great talk show. He's part of the Daily Wire over there on with the Daily Wire, and they do their All Access and all that fun stuff.
And whatnot.
And he's one of the commentators over there, and he's really good. And he does the daily cancellation, and I actually thoroughly enjoy it because he legitimately cancels things that need to be legitimately canceled.
Okay.
Like stuff like that, where
I suppose
you get people that are just ridiculous on silly things that they shouldn't be, and they do that. On a side note, can we discuss can we discuss false news or mainstream crap media for a moment?
I suppose.
So Babylon Bee, my favorite satire site, posted an article.
Yeah.
On I read this earlier today. Let me read you the let me read you the headline here and I'll watch you see the we really should probably start going like live like video on these things because they're just so funny. But, okay, orcs march on Minas Tirith in mostly peaceful protest. I saw that one.
Yeah, Vince read that one the other day.
Oh, pardon me. Yeah, too good. Too good.
Well, and that's unfortunately that's the problem is that, okay, it was a peaceful protest. Yeah, where they flipped over police cars and lit them on fire. That's peaceful. They looted buildings and shops and stuff. That's right. Peaceful.
Yeah, that's peaceful.
That's a really peaceful protest
Looting
right there.
Is peaceful.
That's
I feel peaceful.
that's what the founding fathers were thinking about when they said the right to peacefully protest the government
Okay, so I have a hypothetical for you.
and address your redress of grievances. That's what they were thinking of. They were
Of
thinking
course.
of flipping over cars and wearing masks to cover your face because you don't want anyone to know who you are while you're destroying stuff.
Right.
They weren't at all talking about, marching with signs and,
Well,
being peaceful.
somebody entered the live studio and then they left, and I'm not going to say their name, because it's
Obscene?
a little bit.
Cool.
So Vape Nick will say hi to, and then we'll leave it alone.
Cool.
All right, I got a hypothetical for you. Ready?
Oh, okay.
The year is 2030. The first astronauts have landed on Mars. They find a cave with a human skeleton and 4 words written on the wall. What are those 4 words? You gotta help me out here, bro. What are those 4 words?
Oh, gosh. I know exactly what those 4 words
What are they?
Epstein didn't kill himself.
Yes. Oh, I laughed
That
for
is
a
hysterical.
I laughed for a good
Oh,
bit.
my
I laughed
gosh.
for a good bit on that one.
Wow. That's really funny. Whew.
So, so there's I read about this thing the other day. Let's talk about something a little bit encouraging and fun, shall we?
Okay.
So there is a point, there's a promise in the Bible.
Okay.
And one of the promises that God promises is one of restoration. And so I was doing a little bit of research on that because I did a Bible study on it the other day, and I found out about this thing that the Japanese do with pottery,
Interesting.
and it is called. Where is it?
That's a really weird name.
It's called.
This is Where Is It? The ancient Japanese form of pottery.
Thank you. Super helpful.
It's a weird name.
I thought I had
It's a very strange name.
I had the page up already. Darn it.
And over here we have a rare example of Where
what
Is It?
Where is it?
The unique Japanese form of pottery. This was only seen between the 4th and 5th dynasties. Weren't dynasties in China? Excuse me, security, can we have this guy removed?
Oh, jeez. That's funny.
All right,
Okay,
I'm
all
done
right.
mocking you now that you've actually found it.
I have found it. So it's called kintsugi, which is translated golden joinery, or kintsukururi, which is golden repair. It is the
Okay.
Japanese art of repairing pottery by mending the areas of breakage with a lacquer dusted or mixed with powdered gold, silver, or platinum. As a philosophy, it treats breakage and repair as part of the history of the object rather than something to disguise.
That's interesting.
And you've seen these pictures.
Yeah, they're amazing.
They're beautiful.
That's
these
interesting
pottery.
because in the Middle East, in some of those old monastery mosque things,
Yeah.
that are like the thing in Turkey,
Right.
and there's a couple other ones that are like it. They actually have on the walls the history of every time that the monastery was damaged and repaired.
Right. Yeah, and that's just so cool.
Like it's part of the life of the like as if this thing is a piece of history itself, which it is, totally a piece of history itself.
Right. Absolutely.
And that part of it needs to be preserved, is that this was damaged and repaired.
So, kintsugi, I think I hope I'm saying that right. I'm probably not.
You're probably butchering it.
Is the general concept of highlighting or emphasizing imperfections, visualizing mends and seams as an additive or an area to celebrate or focus on rather than absence or missing pieces. Modern artists experiment with the ancient technique as a means of analyzing the idea of loss, synthesis, and improvement through destruction and repair or rebirth.
Interesting. Ooh, rebirth. I like that.
Rebirth, yeah. While originally ignored as a separate art form, kintsugi and related repair methods have been featured in exhibitions at the Freer Gallery at the Smithsonian and the Metropolitan Museum of Art and the Herbert F. Johnson Museum of Art.
Herbert?
And so I was actually reading, I know that it originally started, lacquerware is a long-standing tradition in Japan, and at some point, kintsugi may have been combined with miki-e as a replacement for other ceramic repair techniques. While the process is associated with Japanese craftsmen, the technique was also applied to ceramic pieces of other origins, including China, Vietnam, and Korea. How you in Korea? It became closely associated with ceramic vessels for chanyoi, which is the Japanese tea ceremony. One theory is that kintsugi may have originated when Japanese shogun Ashikaga Yashimasa sent a damaged Chinese tea bowl back to China for repairs in the late 15th century. When it was returned, repaired with ugly metal staples, it may have prompted Japanese craftsmen to look for more aesthetic means of repair. Collectors became so enamored of the new art that some were accused of deliberately smashing valuable pottery so that it could be repaired with the gold seams of kintsugi. On the other hand, according to the record of tea bowl and large locust clamp, because that's the easier way to say this Japanese word that I can't say.
It's okay. We won't judge you too much.
Such ugliness, quote unquote, was inspirational and zen in a way, as it connotes beauty and broken things. The bowl became valued even more highly because of these large metal staples, which look like a locust, and the bowl was named Large Locust Clamp, is the translation, because I can't say the word. Anyway, there you go. Pretty cool, huh?
That is pretty cool.
So things that are broken and are mended seem to be better, or at least more valuable. Not necessarily better, but more valuable in some cases, which means the eye of the beholder, right?
Yeah.
So what do you got over there? You finding stuff?
Not anything that's good.
Oh, okay.
Although this is kind of funny, I think.
Okay.
So this 18-year-old girl from New Jersey,
Okay.
Emily Gill,
Okay.
that received a bill for $2,500 for police overtime pay for the rally that she organized.
That's awesome.
Of course, they didn't actually make her pay it.
Elizabeth Gill.
Is it Elizabeth Gill? No, Emily. It says Emily on here.
Emily.
According to this, the mayor actually rescinded the thing. But the point is very well made.
Yeah.
You organized this. Stuff was destroyed. Now you have to pay for it. This isn't free. There's a bill connected to it, you know?
That's awesome.
I thought it was funny.
That is good. And actually, it's kind of sad where we're at right now, since we're talking about politics, about the the trend now, where people are starting to die.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been. I mean, the sad note is that they've been dying.
Yep.
There have been people that have been dying in these things, but now we're seeing a different side of it, and we're seeing death coming from the protectors, and that's the hard part. Is I keep seeing these memes, and they're kind of light, but it's kind of true. It's at some point you're going to push a certain number of people over the wall here, over the edge, and these people that the meme that I keep seeing is wait until those that just wanted to be left alone get involved.
Oh, that's how it always is. That is the statement of the silent majority.
Correct.
That has been the belief of the silent majority for years, is that there's this silent majority of people in America that just want to be left alone. They just want to live our lives. And if you bother us for long enough, we will respond.
And it won't be nice.
And what's interesting is that we talked about this. I think we've talked about this in the past, the American fighting spirit.
Yes.
That is one of those intrinsic things in the United States where you look at our history, throughout history, and all of our conflicts were all reactionary conflicts.
Correct.
Something had to happen, and you can cut your teeth. You can cut your teeth or split your hairs on whether or not it was actually a legitimate thing, or if scandalous journalism just prompted the American people to respond. Yellow journalism exaggerating the situation or not. Regardless of it, what my point is that every single one of these situations was prompted by an action.
Right, even as recent as 9/11.
Well, actually, 9/11 is a great example. There was the Middle East and the issues that have been going on in the Middle East. It's actually been a pretty serious issue for quite a while.
Correct.
And we have done nothing about it because it's not our business to do anything about it.
And then you came here and you touched us.
And you messed with us, and now we're going to have to respond. Well, and I even you look at even like the Civil War. Abraham Lincoln would have never, ever been able to gain support from the northern states to go and attack the states that were seceding if South Carolina hadn't decided to fire on Fort Sumter.
Right.
It's just the way it is. If they hadn't fired on Fort Sumter, Lincoln would have had no argument. Zero. They're leaving. They want to do their thing. We want to do our thing. Let them go.
Yep. But they fired on Fort Sumter.
And I think that what you're starting to see now, since you brought it up, is that these cities are Fort Sumters. Yeah. All of them are Fort Sumters. It's one thing for you to say that America is systemically racist and that we can never fix it and we have to get rid of the whole system and start over again.
Right.
And then go somewhere else and do it. It's something else entirely to take up arms or take up clubs and sticks and rocks
against your fellow Americans
and light things on fire and loot and stuff like that. It's like, okay, and
attack people.
Are you upset about the government, or are you wanting to raid and loot? Because if you're upset about the government,
this is not how to do it.
This is not how it works.
Correct.
What's funny is that everything that they're demanding that they want is already in place in the Constitution. It's already in place in the Declaration of Independence. It's already in place in the Bill of Rights and in the expanded amendments.
Right.
And why is that? It's because our country was made up of people that were upset about being misrepresented. They're upset about not being free. They're upset about not getting the same basic, being treated the same basic ways that people in England were being treated.
Right.
Their moral and religious and humanitarian rights were being violated.
Right.
You read through the redress of grievances in the Declaration of Independence, or you get the original document and you read through all the extra regresses of grievances that were ultimately removed, and you're like, there was a lot of issues here. There was a lot of things that people were upset about. And they were so upset that they were willing to take on the biggest country in the world to do it.
The world power. I mean, that was back then.
It was a population hurdle as well, because England had 10 million people and the colonies only had 2 million people in them.
Right.
I mean, that's a huge population, and you're talking about in the United States, you're talking about 2 million people spread out,
right,
over a size that's almost 4 times the size of England.
Yep.
I mean, that is a massive area
in a land that we didn't understand the weather, and we didn't understand.
They had been here for quite a while, over 100 years.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
So in some cases, even more. Jamestown is very old. But what I'm saying is that they were willing because they believed that their fight was righteous.
Right.
Because they actually believed that it was ordained by God. Providence ordained this to happen.
Yeah, providence.
They were willing to take up arms.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that's very interesting about this. And it's the reason why I have such an issue with this whole thing right now. And it's actually the reason that I have an issue with the southern states that seceded during the Civil War. When the American colonies declared their independence from England, it was a unanimous vote.
Right.
As a matter of fact, the president of the Continental Congress, John Hancock, insisted that it be a unanimous vote.
Right.
He said his statement was, I'm paraphrasing here, that if we secede and we're not unanimous, then it will be like Cain and Abel, and God's hand will be raised against us.
Right.
Because we're not doing it together. We have to do it together because we'll end up fighting our brothers.
Well, what's the other statement? We'd better all hang together.
Oh, yeah.
Most assuredly.
Benjamin Franklin.
All hang separately.
Yep. And so that's I look at these people and I'm like, listen, guys, it already exists. It's already here.
Right.
They did it 235 years ago. It's the great American experiment. It's freedom. It's democracy. It's the republic.
But see, I think
it's justice.
I think that is the problem, is that these people, especially these people in the inner cities, they don't understand. They can't put two and two together. They cannot see that all of this is in place, and they don't understand that even in America, and this is a bold statement, but even in America, the lowest of the low, the most impoverished, the worst of the worst is better, or it was at least, was better than anywhere else in the world. Even our bottom,
it's still that case.
Is still better.
Because the bottom can go to a shelter.
Yep.
They can go get food stamps.
Yep.
They can go get welfare.
They have, the helps are available.
The helps are all available.
And here we are living in this country where it is available.
But who are the people? That's the real issue here, is that who are the people? Who are the people that are rising up in this violent protesting?
Well, that's my
Who
point.
Are they?
That's my point.
They are
actually wealthy.
They're wealthy college students,
college kids,
and
who have it even better than we do.
And this whole, have you seen this whole thing, the Wall of Moms thing?
Oh yeah,
it is the perfect.
That just angers me.
No, it is the perfect completion of what we're seeing. We're seeing spoiled kids that have always gotten what they wanted their entire lives by throwing a temper tantrum, throwing themselves on the ground, stomping their feet,
right,
pounding their fists, blah, blah, blah. And mommy and daddy, if daddy's even around, give them whatever they want.
Yep.
And so what a perfect picture to have mommy out there protecting you from the police while you destroy the city.
Yep.
I mean, what a perfect picture.
Well, I mean, that's the thing that I think frustrates me more than anything. One, my mom would never do that. But two, I don't have the option. Like they actually did a thing down in the valley a couple months ago where they went and marched on the Capitol to try and get Ducey to pull his head out of his nethers.
Yes.
And I really wanted to go to that, but I couldn't. You want to know why I couldn't go?
Because you're working.
Because I had to work.
Yeah. And that's actually, so there's a
and I know people that went because they took the day off. They actually took the day off of work, cost themselves money, and went down there.
We did that for the vote. Remember that the sanctuary county thing?
Oh, correct. Yes, we did do that.
Which, I mean, is it's neither here nor there on.
Well, we also were working in a company that we could do that.
That we could do that with, yeah. So that was.
I can't do that now.
No, definitely not. No.
You know. Negative, sir.
But anyway, it's kind of a deep subject. Kind of we're wrapping
end of the show.
We're rapidly approaching an hour, and it's kind of a deep subject to be at the hour. But I guess what my point is that everything is already there for them to, present their redress of grievances, for them to, say their piece. The problem is that they don't have a leg to stand on. That's really the issue here. That's the reason why they're rioting and protesting.
And they don't know it.
Because but certain people do know it. They know it because if you have a legitimate argument, if you have a legitimate concern, you rally together with other people that share your concern.
Right.
And you peacefully protest, or you tell your representative or whatever,
right.
and they make things happen at the level that they're at, or the highest levels, or whatever.
Right. You get all of your people together and you call your congressman relentlessly.
Right. Or in the case of, you want to look on like a broad scale picture, you vote a president in.
Right.
That's going to be a certain way.
Which is also the issue that we're dealing with right now, is that they refuse to accept the fact that he was legitimately voted in.
Well, and that's regardless of the point. What I'm saying is that we have so many vehicles to address the issues, and they have chosen to make their argument illegitimate.
Right.
By being violent, by destroying things.
Right.
Because for most people, they might look at that and say, well, look at these guys. They got a bum rap. They probably weren't treated correctly by the police. But now, most of those people are like, I don't care.
Yep.
I don't care because even if they were mistreated, everyone's looting and burning things down. And so I don't care about the argument anymore.
You invalidate your argument.
You invalidate your argument in the fact that people don't care.
Well, and the other side of the people not caring is that people are starting to take the other stance. I mean, so...
What, that they deserved it?
So I'm not dark.
They deserve to be treated that way?
Yeah. I'm not dark. Okay. And I understand that in some places, statistically, it's low, ridiculously low, that there is some kind of racism. You're going to have that police officer, you're going to have that person who, is, causing problems by doing what they're doing. The problem that I have with it is that I have been pulled over a lot. And I've been pulled over by the worst of the worst. And I've had them search my car and give me what for and push me and push me and push me. And I've never had to experience what these people are experiencing because the common denominator here, I always complied. Always. I didn't run. I always complied with the police officers.
You didn't reach back into your car.
And I never fought back.
No, you never reached back into your car.
And I never reached back into my car.
That is the biggest thing right
now. And
now.
I've been pulled out of my car many times.
It's like, you know what?
Also, I've actually been straight up with the police every time. They walk up to my car and I say, hey, I have weapons in the car. And it is out there at the very beginning. And I'm not being belligerent. That's the thing that gets me on this, is that this is basic stuff. Don't reach back into your car. Really? The officer is trained that if they don't see what you have in your hand, then they consider it a threat. Which, of course, the facts came out and he had a knife on the floor of his car.
I thought he had a gun on the floor of his car.
I thought he had a gun too, but I don't know. I got to read the reports, but I heard on another talk show that it was actually a knife. Either way, he had already resisted arrest. He had already fought with the cops. He had already been tased. At that point, the cop's not going to get maimed.
Right.
Right? He wants to go home.
Self-preservation is what's going on.
And it's self-preservation. So, Anyway, on that dark note, I believe we're at the end of our show. Because we are literally at
The end.
1 hour. Right there on the dot. I said 1 hour on the actual 1 hour.
But not on the recording, though.
Yeah, well, the recording's off. This is right on.
Oh, well, the recording's the thing that's going to get posted. The thing that's going on live right now is not going to get posted.
It actually stays posted.
Does it really?
I just won't download it.
Oh.
Yeah, you can go back and listen to the live shows, which I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Probably a bad thing.
We'll see. Anyway,
We'll see.
That's been our show today, Sunday, August
30th,
2020. And I think we have outro music that we're going to play.
Yeah, when we're done.
I think we're done. Aren't we done? Are we not done?
You're going to have to get up from my seat.
You looked very comfortable.
I actually wasn't very comfortable. It was starting to get to that point where I was really uncomfortable.
Oh, well, there you go then.
Okay, well, if you're not learning,
we hope you learned something today.
We hope you're not learning anything today. And that you only learned stuff from us.
Right.
Because
nothing else.
We're very, very jealous about other people learning things.
Jealous about learning. Anyway, if
we hope you learned something today.
If you're not learning,
you're dying.
You're dying.
So stay alive.